Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and a very good day to everybody. My name is Damia Maisarah binti Jeffrey of class 6 Ibnu Sina from RPR Jalan Astana, Kuching. On this great day, I would like to share with you a book about a traditional folktale from Armenia, a country near Turkey. The title of this book is The Golden Carpet, written by Mary McKinnon and illustrated by Damia Maisarah. This book was published by Usborne First Reading in 2013 and has 48 pages of text and illustrations. Without further ado, let me share with you about the story. This story is about a handsome prince named Aram. He loved to go out hunting with his friends. One day, they came to a village in the hills. Prince Aram saw a beautiful girl fetching some water from the well nearby. The prince and his friends were very thirsty and asked for some water to drink. The girl poured water on a piece of cloth and said to them, "Please wipe your faces first." Just after they wiped their faces, then she poured warm water into a cup for them and said, "You needed to cool down first. Then you can drink. If you drink too quickly, it can make you sick," the girl explained. Prince Aram was amazed and wondered, "Who is she actually?" His friends asked the villagers about the girl. The villagers said proudly, "That's Annie, the shepherd's daughter. She is very clever and she taught everyone in the village how to read." Prince Aram wanted to marry Annie, the shepherd's daughter. All of his friends were shocked and said, "You can't make a shepherd's girl into a princess." But that evening, Prince Aram went to the shepherd's house and told the shepherd that he wants to marry his daughter Annie. "Well then, you should ask her yourself," said the shepherd. Annie laughed and said, "I don't know anything about you. What do you do?" And with pride he said, "I'm a prince." And then Annie said, "You can't just be a prince. Can you do anything else? I will only marry a man who knows how to do a real job." Annie is right. I really should learn a skill, the prince thought. When he returned to his palace, our Prince Aram called for the best craftsmen in the city. "What can you teach me?" he asked. One old man stepped forward and said, "Your Majesty, I can show you how to weave carpets threaded with gold." And the prince thought that would be a fine skill for a prince. The prince worked hard and learned all he could, and after a year, he went back to Annie's village with a carpet. "I made it for you," he said to Annie. It had a pattern of flowers and birds and golden crowns around Annie's own name. Soon after, Annie married Prince Aram. In time, they became king and queen. They ruled wisely and well, and all their people loved them. The king and his friends still liked to go hunting. One day, they rode into the hills many miles from the palace. When it started getting dark, they made a fire and set up camp for the night. Suddenly, thick black smoke rolled around them. Invisible enemies attacked from all sides. They tied them together and forced them to march through the night. As they reached high cliffs, they were brought into a cave. At last, they saw who had captured them, a cruel, wicked sorcerer. The sorcerer said harshly, "You are my slaves. Work for me and I must spare your lives." There were other men and women in the caves were forced to work as slaves for the wicked sorcerer. They worked day and night. The sorcerer took everything they made and sold it in the city. Aram was horrified, but he was determined to save his friends and told the wicked sorcerer, "We are weavers. We can make the finest carpet you have ever seen." Aram secretly taught his friends all the skills he knew, and gradually a beautiful carpet took shape. In order to escape, the king finds an ingenious way of getting a message to his wife while woven a secret message into the carpet. When the sorcerer saw the finished carpet, he was impressed. "Good work, it will make me rich," the wicked sorcerer said. "You should show it to the queen," Aram said. "She will give you the best price for it." And the wicked sorcerer said, "Great idea." All this time, Queen Annie had been desperately worried. She sent out search parties one after another, but there was no news. Still, she believed that the king was alive. One day, she heard that a strange old man wanted to show her a fine carpet and she felt surge of hope. She recognized the king's work right away. Then she spotted the secret message that was woven in the carpet. My darling, the man who brought you this carpet is an evil sorcerer. We are his prisoners in these mountains. Help us! Please lend me your stick. She tricked the old man and took his magic staff. Then she cried, Guards, seize him! The sorcerer was helpless without his staff. Queen Annie herself rode to the mountains to rescue the king and other slaves. I knew you will save us, said Aram. King Aram and Queen Annie ruled for many years. Their palace became more and more splendid. It was filled with beautiful things made by the king and queen, their children, and all their friends. The moral value that we can learn from this book is that we, at any point of life, we should learn some skills and do real jobs, also to be wise and smart in solving any difficulties that we may face. I will recommend my friends to read this book because it contains unique illustrations and text which is easy to understand. The story teaches us a lesson that we as students should learn too. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you and hope to see you next time. Bye!